Welcome into the Tri-Oval office where we are faster than Xfinity Internet, for better or for worse. And we have a guest today, and that is Nikolai Culp. How are you doing, Nikolai?
I'm good. That was a great intro there. How are you?
I mean, I was better a few minutes ago that everyone's internet decided to actually crash. So I don't know if there was a solar flare or something happened, but we're gonna keep on pushing.
It's the sun eating amoebas or whatever from Project Hail Mary. That's what it is.
I gotta go watch it. I was supposed to go watch it today and couldn't. So I did
Sad.
see your tweet though, or your Instagram post of Absolute Cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna get a Project Hail Mary review in this, just because we can.
I feel like
glad
I'm
to pull
lost. Is
us
this
off
a
topic.
movie or something? I'm so out of it.
Yes, it's well, it's
Yes.
a book,
Oh
but then
my.
it's now the movie.
Could have fooled
Um,
me.
and
So
Grant,
glad to pull us off topic just 1 minute into this thing.
we didn't even make it a minute. I mean, that would have been a record. But and Grant is still with us as well. So, Grant, are you doing good on this fine 285 evening?
I am doing good. For once, it wasn't my just stupid fast Xfinity internet just conking out on us. So allegedly, it totally could have been, but still considering the switch to O'Reilly internet, just waiting on that drop.
So, Nikolai, we go kind of way back. We've known each other for probably about 5, 6 years now. Um, the backstory on this, and Nikolai's been a real help in launching this channel and everything with NASCAR content. And I got back into NASCAR in 2021. When was the LA Coliseum? Was that 2022 or 2021? I think it was
Yeah,
20.
that was February of 22.
Yes, because it was after the Braves won the World Series, and we had a. That was the first class where I really got to know you. That was a sports broadcasting class, and we found out right away that we like to put when we are passionate about something, we could really do really well on it. Other than that, we like to sandbag a little on the editing.
That's a fair assessment. That's
And
a
we
fair
ended up
assessment.
always being in the editing bay at the exact same time of night, which was from anywhere from 10 to 2 in the morning. And we
That's
became
also a fair assessment. Yeah.
so, and we got me back into NASCAR a little bit. Lightning McQueen also had that effect when I visited Charlotte in the Hall of Fame earlier that summer. But it was a really good time, and I kind of owe you for getting me back into a sport that I love. So, thank you for that.
Fast cars and turning left. What else do you need?
I mean, it's perfect. And sometimes we turn right now too. I mean,
I
much
know.
to Brad's
Crazy.
chagrin, but
Who would have thought?
um, so there's no Cup Series action this week. You cover all three series more than we cover all three series because you do more content that's daily versus we're kind of podcasty in nature. But so no Cup Series, so we could kind of actually afford to go off topic a bit more. You brought it up yesterday with one of your videos. NASCAR racing on the moon in 2030.
Yeah.
And that got me thinking, and this goes out to you, Grant, as well.
Oh boy.
If NASCAR, the Cup Series, O'Reilly trucks, whatever, want to go racing anywhere in this world, out of this world, wherever, where would you have them go race? And you could be as serious or as silly with this question as possible.
Rainbow Road from Mario Kart.
Booyah.
I think it would legitimately work out. Like, depending on the
Unanimous.
layout, I think you could actually get a really fun race out of it.
Can you imagine like someone finally has it with Hocevar and just sends him into the ether? Literally never to be seen again. He's just gone. Like the
What about
hurricane.
the cloud dude who goes and fishes? He can't go fish him out?
Well, I guess he could, but I
There was
guess
an
I'm bridging.
incident where
I'm bridging too much of like the fake with reality of like, yeah, this is like totally a fake thing. But then like if he goes off the edge, like he's dead. So I guess yeah, we could have Cloud Fisherman come get him. It could
I
be
mean,
like the
Cody
ghost
Ware
of
has
Dale
already
Senior.
distracted the.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
It could just be Dale
So-
Senior with like Bill Dance on a bass boat that just brings him back. That'd be perfect. Totally feasible.
I mean, they have been comparing Hocevar to Earnhardt. There you go.
Exactly.
There's the link.
He can save other people too, but especially Hocevar.
Especially.
Well, you have to find a place where SVG is not winning like every road course race. Though he is over. I mean, besides Coda, but
Yeah, just make
yeah,
it Coda. There you go, and he
that's
won't
true.
win.
But yeah, you really kind of we've talked about analytics and everything before, but you found the SV. You kind of hopped on the SVG trend faster than everyone else because that's like a good majority of your audience or a good chunk of your audience follow you because you are the SVG guy. And so, how one did you discover that, and two, how does it feel being like the American Kiwi whisperer?
That's a good question.
American
So
Kiwi Whisperer is awesome.
yeah, I might have to use that in the future.
I'll make you a shirt.
Yeah,
In Dallas, I'll give
you're
it to
giving
you.
me too much credit probably, but no. So he joined, or they made the announcement or whatever in May of 23 that he was going to race Chicago. I had never heard of him before that,
Yeah,
but the video got like for at the time what for me was pretty decent viewership. I was like, oh, that's kind of random, cool. And then the practice and qualifying at Chicago happened. I did a stream for it, like during it, and he did good, and the viewership went up. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Then he won the freaking race, and it just shot through the roof. And I was like, okay, apparently, and they give you all these analytics
right.
online of like where people are watching. It's like 70% of your viewership is from Australia and New Zealand. I was like, oh, whoa, that's kind of random. And so then it just kind of snowballed into doing news. I mean, normal NASCAR news, but then kind of more involved on him. And then when the O'Reilly series, when he got that full time gig, starting to do week by week stuff, and it kind of just kept going. So I figured, hey, these people, no need to overthink it, no need to overdo it. Just kind of give them the simple basics of NASCAR. And when a weird rule gets exposed or happens, tell them why the weird rule exists. So, like a restart violation. I think that happened to him in Michigan in the O'Reilly series 24. So, it's about finding the weird things they don't know about and helping educate them on it from Australia and New Zealand. So, but
To
it's
be
very
fair,
random. Very
to be
random.
fair though, with like random rules and intricacies, I mean, most people who watch NASCAR every week don't know them either because
It's
they're
true.
the rule book is so overly complicated.
Well,
Um,
also they make up rules on the fly sometimes. Like we
exactly.
saw the weird rule at Martinsville with Bell and Byron at that Martinsville race, the elimination
Yeah,
half
with
wall ride thing.
so I yeah, NASCAR is something else. And then you got to deal then you had the like little one of my favorite things on Twitter with involving you was when Supercars announced that they were going to a playoff format.
Oh God, yes,
Um
did that.
inspired by NASCAR because if you're going to take anything from this sport, it is the playoff format that NASCAR itself now has abandoned. Um, so Nikolai at Nikolai Culp? Is this a good thing? And then just no, that's
Yep.
it. Um, but
Yeah, that was certainly a choice of all time, and of course, year one in supercars. Like I prior to 2 years ago, I'd never watched supercars. I've watched a few races now, but of course, year one of their playoff system, they have a guy win like 15 of 30 races or something. Well, guess where he finished in the points? Second. So it just was like perfect. It was like, all right, we tried to warn you, Ben. Here we are, and it happened to you too. So, but Supercars, really fun series, by the way. Really fun series.
it's that was kind of my racing blind spot forever because I kind of got I follow Formula One. I don't watch most of the races. If it's in a good time zone, I might turn it on.
Fair.
Now with it being on Apple TV, I mean, it's really like I have no
Hmm.
um, real want to watch the races, but I'll keep up with it. I'll see what's happening. But I mean, I was a kid who grew up on dirt racing, NASCAR, and then a little bit of IndyCar when they raced the ovals. And so I didn't even one know that Australian supercars was a thing until SVG came over. And then I had to start looking into it. And it's basic because I mean the next gen is modeled after the Australian supercar. Um, but what a fun series! I'm glad that there's been more crossover. Like they've sent several drivers over. None have had the success that SVG did because SVG is a all world talent at adaptability and everything else. But I mean, Kyle Larson was going to run the 24 hours of shoot.
No, I think he was going to run Adelaide, right? Adelaide
Yes.
500.
It's
Yeah.
good at Adelaide, and then what's the one? Bathurst. No, yeah,
Yeah, Bathurst is the big one, the
Bathurst.
Bathurst 1000. That conflicts with NASCAR schedule, but man, I watched that race last year and it was an all-timer. It's like an 8 hour, it's like ends up being an 8 hour race, but the entire thing was in the rain. So it's like complete chaos the entire time. The
Holy
race ended at
cow.
2 a.m., but like by the end of it, because so much is happening and so much chaos, you're like at 2 a.m., it feels like 2 p.m. You're so excited.
And of course, the only suitable replacement for cake at this hour, heroin. But I mean, that's the thing is, one, Bathurst is such a cool track. Like racing on it in any sort of sim game, it is so difficult, and I can't imagine having to do that for 1,000 miles. But um,
Kilometers.
it is a kilometer, so it is 500.
Yeah.
Well, around 500. It's not exact, but okay.
Yeah, that's another thing you learn how to do when you're talking to Australians and Kiwis. You got to figure out the conversion from miles to kilometers a lot. So
Um,
that's another one I'm still working on.
so, Nikolai, you were recently went to your first IndyCar race at the Arlington Grand Prix, and we saw the double headers at Phoenix and St. Pete with the Truck Series. And like I already mentioned, you cover SVG. You are the Kiwi whisperer for NASCAR. Um, how badly, just for the sake of your own channel and for the sake of racing, do you want the crossover? Whether that's SVG climbing in a single seater or, oh shoot, why did I forget his name? I am good with names until I actually have to say them.
Scott?
His
Scott
Scott
McLaughlin?
McLaughlin, yes. To climb in the seat of a Penske um, race car in NASCAR, because those two going at it and like going and just watching the highlights at night to feel something again, really, like, I want to see those two race each other in the states, in a major series. I don't know how well either one of them would do adjusting to the other's discipline, but I think it would be so much fun if they somehow found a way to run, maybe not the double, because it's so hard to run the 600 and the 500, and I don't think SVG would be all that competitive. Um, but somewhere, just like, let's get a weekend at Road America, and let's let IndyCar go Saturday. Let's go let the Cup Series go Sunday, and let both of them have a ride in both, and let's just see it.
No, but I think it'd be cool if McLaughlin came over to NASCAR just because, everyone's talking about like how similar the supercar and the cup car are. So I don't know how long he's been away from supercars, but surely instinct kicks in and he's still fast in that type of car, right? So I think that would be really fun to see them battle it out on a cup track. I think that'd be cool, but I think it'd be cool the other way around too. So, but I'm all for international drivers coming over. So, all right, so that's my question. Who do you two want to see come to NASCAR? Whether it's a one off, part time, full time, whatever.
Oh, that's easy for me.
Yeah, I
That's
knew
easy.
he had his answer. So
Yeah, give me Verstappen. All this Larson
Fair.
Verstappen,
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh, I
that's
didn't even
that's who
think
I want to
about
see.
that.
Like all the it's like a year or two ago, everyone's yapping, oh Larson, oh no, it's Verstappen. And I mean, with the way F1's going, I mean, I'm a huge Max fan. He looks like he couldn't care less about the new hybrid and that kind of stuff. He's got a really good GT team. I mean, why not try endeavor in something new? Put him in. I'm sure now that Red Bull is Ford, I'm sure we could find him a seat in some kind of Ford. Shoot, put him in put him
The
in
RFK.
yeah, put him in Corey LaJoy's seat instead.
Yeah, Corey LaJoy followed up by Max Verstappen, just
Yeah,
as we all anticipated.
yeah. Give him that car. Give him the Trimble 99 and let him just go crazy. That's easy. That's my answer because it felt like that conversation kind of fell off after Larson's debacle of a double,
Mm.
um, which I don't know was kind of funny to me. just kind of in the midst of all that, he just like shoots a thumbs up. Who was it that wrecked on like the
McLaughlin,
outlap?
Scott
Yeah, it was
McLaughlin.
Scott.
Yeah.
He like wrecked on the outlap. He shot him a thumbs up, and then he wrecks like not that long after, and then he flies down whatever and wrecks again at the 600. I was like, oh, cinema.
Tough.
I think it's too because everyone just loves Scott McLaughlin. So it was one of those things of like no one legitimately actually hates SVG. They just hate how good he is on the road courses. I was gonna have like a fun answer. I was gonna have like a edgy like, oh, you didn't see this coming answer. But he's already raced a race. I do remember this. Jonathan Davenport raced out of World of Outlaw series.
Yeah.
Raced the Bristol Dirt in 2023. Can't remember. He finished I think dead
I think
last.
he was with Colleague, right?
Yeah. So he ran. I'll tell you exactly. Or he did not finish dead last. He finished sandwiched between Kyle Larson and Joey Logano.
Hey, those are two dirt champions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Joey
So
Logano won the first Bristol dirt race.
yeah. So I mean, he was driving the 13. So yeah, colleague.
Oh yeah,
Um,
13.
That feels so gross for a NASCAR number.
It
I
kind
don't know why.
but I would
Unless
say
it has a Geico on it. Outside of that, though, it's a little weird.
I just am imagining the new colic font in a 13. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter who's in it because they had Almendinger in it once. They had SVG in it a couple times. They
that
put
car's cursed.
like when it had the Go Bowling scheme.
No. Ugh.
I agree with you there. It's
But
whack.
if we're being a little bit more like like I don't want to say mainstream because World of Outlaws gets so many viewers every week, but I would love to see if we ever return to Mexico City, Pato Award climbing in a car.
That'd be cool.
I think a double. That's the thing is like that works. A double header in Montreal or Mexico City absolutely would play for NASCAR and IndyCar. Not to mention all the great venues we have in the States, since IndyCar is not afraid to run on an oval.
I mean, they did the doubleheader at Phoenix, what, a month ago now ish?
Right.
Do it
I
at
wouldn't
Daytona,
want more
cowards.
than like 3 a year.
Oh, God Almighty. We were scared of Atlanta a few minutes ago. Imagine Daytona.
I didn't say I was going to be there.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere in the state. I mean,
COVID grandstands. Nobody's up there.
Yeah, that's
someone's
probably how
gonna
you're going to
go
have to
Puerto
do it.
Rico.
Yeah, that's about right.
But yeah, I mean, I would love if they dedicated twice a year to running an actual like double header between NASCAR and Indy. I think it's really good for both series. But yeah, that's the IndyCar question that I had labeled out. We'll do a real like NASCAR up to date one. If Nikolai's with us, okay, he nodded. I got so scared for a minute. He's
Let's
moving.
keep moving so it doesn't crash out.
So I'm taking a look at the standings right now, and I'm looking like Reddick has his 82-point lead on Blaney, Hamlin, Elliott, Byron, top 5. Who are you like actually shocked to see either at the bottom of the standings or in the top of it? Because I have my answer, and I would say Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs has shocked me in a really good way this year. He's been so consistently fast.
I feel maybe this is an unpopular take. I feel like he's overhated. Like, I get he hasn't put the results together, which is fine, but I also feel like people kind of just pile on because it's Ty Gibbs, it's Joe Gibbs' grandson. But every once in a while, like, he's really good at Bristol for whatever random reason. Then he started out this year really good, and go back and piece a few others. He's a really good road course racer, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I think he's one of the good surprises of the year, as you said. But I don't know. I felt like throwing that potentially unpopular take on here.
There is a text that Grant has sent me.
Oh boy.
I
Oh,
do not
gosh.
dislike Ty Gibbs nearly as much as I want to. So because we made a thing of like we had a whole group chat of like drivers we're rooting for and drivers we are actively rooting against to start the year. Just so that we didn't have anyone jumping on a bandwagon. To be clear, and um, we both had Gibbs in ours, and then I think we're both starting to come around on Gibbs because he's had on paper a terrible time, like off the track time this year. Everything going on with Gabe Hart. He started out really slow. Had the wreck at Atlanta that was mostly his fault, but since Atlanta, he has had. I mean, is everything's been in top
Top
six?
six, yeah.
Yeah, so he has just raced really good. He's kept his nose clean. He's gonna win a race this year if he has this speed because he's putting himself in too many good situations for it not to work out.
Yeah. On the flip end, I'd say his teammate Briscoe, ironically, has been terrible to start of the year. He's 21st in points.
That was my bad surprise for sure. Cayden, I wouldn't say I'm coming around on Ty Gibbs. Just
Yeah, you
to
gotta
be
save
clear
your
here,
faith.
I think after he swiped at Brad's crew at Sonoma, I was like, all right, enough of
Oh,
this
I
kid.
forgot about that.
Yeah, I was like, enough of this kid. The only redeeming quality about him is that he's not Corey Day. So that's his one redeeming quality.
Hey,
So,
speaking of people on top 10 streaks, Corey Day's on what, a 5-race top 10
Something like that.
streak or
Hey,
something like that?
he's almost has as many top fives as people he's wrecked out of a race.
I think that's
Almost.
really accurate.
That's the running counter of the year of day casualties versus
Day fatalities is crazy.
yeah, versus top five.
Just skipped over casually straight to fatalities.
Yeah, I
It's
was
the
a
new
fatality, and I was like, that's
Kirby.
harsh.
It's
Oh,
the new
no.
Kirby Smart versus wins versus arrests. Is the Corey Day?
Oh man! As soon as he
But-
said Kirby, I knew where that was going.
Look at his shirt. Look at his background. You know he had to do that. I mean, I just heard a wreck out back. It was probably probably Jalen Carter.
Oh my
Um,
god!
I'd like to
Grant
take
is
this
a
moment
Georgia
to
Tech fan,
apologize
if you
for,
forget
for absolutely nothing. Uh,
Well, I
We're
lost
off
my
topic.
complete train of thought. So,
I mean, it's not that off topic. I mean, your players act like they're in NASCAR.
Wait, so who's your team?
My dad went to Georgia Tech.
Okay, so rivalry. Yeah, rivalry banter.
no,
That's
we-
fair.
Yeah,
I have
and my
two
wife's a
podcasts, and they're
huge
both-
Alabama fan.
Oh,
I have
no.
two podcasts, and they're both co-hosted by Georgia Tech fans.
Well,
So-
he had to bring people smarter than him on there.
Hey, we both have the same exact name on our degree, school name.
We do have the same college name. We were in different schools of the college, but yes, I didn't get to take part of the editing room or anything like that. I wasn't cool like that. We just had Bloomberg terminals that I wasn't allowed to touch.
You were in
Matt Olson
several of
homered.
my projects though that I made. So thank you for coming in.
The only one, this is so off topic. The only one I regret that never worked out was I just wanted to go yard on those Sanford softball players.
Yes, I could not make that work ever. I tried so hard to get that.
That would have been 450 dead center.
I don't think I have it because it was my Sanford email. I tried to work out a video where we took the the MVPs of intramural softball on the men's side, and have them play do live BP against the I forget her name, but she had won Pitcher of the Year 3 times by our senior year in conference for the softball team, and I wanted to film it like a reality TV show, like that show Pros v Joes versus Joes, and I wanted to mic everyone up and see how it went and run it as a segment on Sanford News Network, and we were this close to getting it actually done. But it just did not work out. And that is one of my few regrets at the time at making stuff for Sanford News, that specific story did not get to happen.
Dude, that would have been so fun.
That would have been funny.
We had a
Because
few,
we were supposed to do like wild, wacky for our last like project. We were supposed to do wild, wacky stories or something.
yeah, because we did our sports show, me and you, which
Yeah.
I don't think that's on the internet anywhere, and I don't want anyone to really go find it.
I don't even remember what we talked about.
We
Maybe
did.
the World
We had
Cup.
a whole racing segment on the Mushroom Cup.
Oh
Of
no, I don't remember that. I just remember me and Breck did that project where we went and talked to Dan about like we did like the Zach Galifianakis spoof, whatever his thing
yes,
is. Where what was that called?
You talking about
between two
Between Two
ferns.
Ferns?
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did like a spoof of that, like a parody of that, essentially. I think I ended up throwing Skittles at him or at one of our professors. It was
Good old
really,
Doctor
really
Dan.
odd.
But yeah, we had a few things that we were going to do together that we could never get pulled off. We were going to do the real life. Me and you were going to go right down the street there, the to the K1 go karts,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
we couldn't get approval to do that.
yeah,
Because we basically said we're going to tell them we're going to run fine. We're going to run fine for most of it, and then someone's going to get sent.
yeah.
Um, and we just said whoever's in position to do so. Um, and
Yeah,
then
I
and
guess
then I
Sanford
was
wouldn't have liked that. Oh well.
And then whoever got sent was going to show up for the last shot in a neck brace.
Oh no,
And
not
she did
again.
not like that idea at
Please work
all.
internet.
Mm.
Um, but good times. So another break for Nikolai's Xfinity internet. Put one in the jar. Put one in the jar for me. Um, Getting pretty full. So Nikolai, what are your feelings on Red Bull Racing and Brian Vickers' return to NASCAR? I saw that yesterday on so
Mm.
many social media posts. I was a little surprised by it, but with Red Bull's involvement in the sport, I get it. That's why it was all over Twitter yesterday.
Brian Vickers is a person of all time.
It
He,
is April 2nd today as we're filming this, just so everyone is aware of the joke because this won't be out for probably 2-3 days. But yeah, okay.
He
The
ain't
real
do
question.
nothing.
I mean, oh man, those files. Oh, that was bad, man.
Prove
That's
it.
bad.
I'm just kidding.
His wife.
Yeah.
Is she already in jail? The wife.
I don't know. We'll find out sooner rather than later. When we asked Jimmy Johnson to come on the show, since he
Oh,
also made an
Yes.
appearance
that's
in
fair.
the files. But the things I really care about, Nikolai, you've been to a lot of NASCAR tracks. You've been to a lot of racetracks in general.
Hmm.
What outside of your two Texas tracks? Because I know you have a soft spot for Coda and Texas, with it being your home tracks. What would you say is your favorite track you've been able to visit?
Oh boy. Um, that is a good question. Ooh, so my next question would be: do you mean like the facilities? Do you mean the racing? Do you mean like the experience? Both? All of the
Kind
above?
of all together, because I think like in-person experience, like obviously if you said just the racing, we would all be like, well, Kansas for one.
Yeah.
Kansas. Did you have you been to Atlanta, or at least New Atlanta?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Right
did
on.
that summer of 23 and then the fall of 24.
So it's racing's really good there.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, for the most part, the SMI facilities are pretty similar. I mean, Coda's run by SMI, but Coda's like completely its own category. Like every aspect of it, like the facilities, the track, like the behind the scenes stuff, like the garage, like literally everything about Coda. It's its own level. But the SMI, you can kind of all see some similarities in it because they're all run by the same people, so it's kind of
It's the
operates the same and
McDonald's of
stuff.
motorsport.
Say that again.
It's the McDonald's of motorsport. You kind of know what you're
Yeah,
getting.
yeah, I'd say that. I mean, the on track product is usually the difference. And then whatever the backdrop is too. So like Vegas has like a super cool backdrop because you have an Air Force base behind it. So you see
Right.
cool military jets landing. You got a mountain. You look over down south, southeast, you can see the strip, which is really cool. Um, Texas, you can see a water tower out in the distance. So
Grant loves all things gambling, so he would
We're
love
still on this.
Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
if Vegas is your place, then
I've been to Vegas one time. It was top 3 worst places I've ever been. I
it's
hated
a
it.
crazy place. It's
I hated
crazy
it.
the things you see and experience there.
Yep. That's where I lost all of my what did I lose? Which currency did I lose there, Caden?
Um, the
Was that my
Jordanian,
Lebanese?
all of your Lebanese pounds.
Yep, those all were gone. I still got a couple Madagascar Ari. Caden had some kind of running joke where I just would gamble the least valuable currencies in the world.
Did you ever win any? Win any
No.
back?
No, I don't. I'm not even kidding. I do have Madagascar money in my drawer in there, but other than that,
Put it on the Braves to win the World Series.
I would rather not.
Oh well.
I don't even own the Prize Picks app.
Well, I think it's legal in Tennessee. Just pop up to Tennessee.
I
You're
do
in
have
Tennessee
some.
like
I
every
do.
day, so
I am not in Tennessee every day. I'm in Tennessee a lot actually for work.
I was gonna say every time we film, it's like you're out of breath. You just like I just got home. I've been in Chattanooga all day, and then I flew 100 miles per hour to get here. That is
That is-
every single time we film in the green room for behind the scenes for everybody.
No, it's.
Um,
I usually get back around like 5:45, and then I gotta, I'm usually out of breath because I'm walking back from the gym, not because I just drove at Mach 10 from Chattanooga.
best
We
things to
did
do.
film when I was up there one time though in the hotel. That is true. Couldn't
Best
get
things
back
to
to
do in
that one.
Chattanooga. Leave. I'm kidding. I actually really like
It's
Chattanooga.
actually a great town.
I love Chattanooga.
Food
The
is
Chattanooga
really
Choo
good.
Choo.
It's not quite Birmingham level, but it's really good.
Um, what was I going to ask you? Okay, so when is the like next race you're planning on going to in person?
That's a good question. Texas. Texas is my next planned one. Early May.
Okay, I know Kansas is kind of like in terms of like relative, it's relatively close compared to the others, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
still what
it's
about
7
4 hours away
hours.
for you?
Yeah, it's 7 hours. Kansas is 7 hours, so I covered that race last fall. That's an easy trip. You literally just get on 35, go, and you kind of cut the corner, get on to 70. You only touch 2 interstates the entire time. It's that easy. It's
We
pretty.
have it
So
so good in the
Out
southeast, Caden.
once you
we
get
really do.
to
We got
like
to get to more
eastern
races. We do.
Kansas, it's pretty.
Yeah. I
Is it
drove past
glitching? Is
Darlington
it crashing right
not
now?
too long ago, and I was like, this is not
Oh,
that
no.
far.
Of these 4 drivers, who gets their first Cup Series win first? Ty Gibbs, Connor Zilic, Carson Hocevar, or Zane Smith?
Does it have to be a super speedway?
No,
No, he's just saying it
I
could
was
be
just
the
saying,
variable
literally
of the
those
super
four
speedway.
to be the next winner.
Well, there's 2 logical answers here, and then there's
Mhm.
2 they have to get extremely lucky, and one of them is far better than the other.
Well, I think it comes down to like one can only win on one type of track, but they're really they can both win on only that type of track because they're just maybe the best or the second best in the whole series at that style of track.
If no one of those has won the next time we get to a road course, it's probably Zilic. But Zane could win. Zane could win at Dega in like 2 weeks.
Well, Ty Gibbs could win at Bristol next week, so
That's true.
I would say
Well,
Ty Gibbs would be the top of my list.
Gibbs and Hocevar are easily the top 2. Probably in that
Unless
order.
we get to a road course, then I'd say Zilic is up there.
That's
Yeah.
my answer is probably Ty Gibbs unless we get to a road course without him, and then it's definitely Zilic.
I was gonna say
I'd agree
Hocevar
with
could
that.
win at Kansas though in 2 weeks. So
Not if Mr. Busher has anything to say about it.
Prosper, Texas' own.
I hope. One can only dream.
That or Michigan. I'm saving my 36 for 36 pick for Busher at Michigan.
He is nasty at Michigan.
he's so good there.
Mm-hmm. Saving it up.
Hey, he's won at Bristol before. Don't count him out yet.
It's been a few years. What, 4 years now?
2023, wasn't it? Or
About 3
22?
years.
Yeah,
My bad.
3.
That was during the Linsanity run of Mr. Busher.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when he won, like, what was it, Michigan, Daytona, and Bristol.
He won. Wasn't it Mitch? It was Michigan, Richmond,
Oh, that's what it was. Richmond. You're right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and like he won him like 3 weeks in a row almost.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, because he came in, he was like near the cut line, and then he came in as like the 4 seed in the
Because he got all
playoff.
those points from the system we no longer shall
Being
talk
named,
not be named. Yes, that is how
unless
we
you're
should
in
call.
Australian
You didn't want to
Supercars.
include Priest in that list?
I almost did, but I was like, it doesn't count in terms of statistics, but he's already shown he's capable of winning because he won Bub and Grattan.
That's fair.
I mean,
I still don't know if I'd take him over Gibbs. Or I definitely know I wouldn't take him over Gibbs.
Not at the upcoming slate of tracks. Like not even Bristol
if Darlington was still out there, maybe. But
or Martinsville. I mean,
yeah,
I know he didn't do great at Martinsville, but kind of somewhat similar-ish, kind of to Bowman Gray. Flat, short, heavy braking.
okay. Well, then I'll add Priest to this. So Priest, Zane Smith, Carson Hocevar, Connor Zilic, and Ty Gibbs. How many of those guys win their first race this year?
2.
And we're gonna go.
Probably Gibbs and Zilich.
I was gonna say 3 because I do think Zilic gets it done at a road course. The problem is the road courses are also front heavy, so he's not gonna get to like learn the car as much as he would. Like I think if the Roval was still a thing, I would go ahead and just pencil him in at the Roval. I think he's gonna be really nice there. But Zilic at Watkins Glen, I think he should be the favorite there. Since he
I
beat.
think SVG will be the odds favorite for every road course, but Zilich, he might be closer to Watkins Glen because he openly expresses how much he loves that track. He's got 2 O'Reilly wins. He was fast in cup practice and qualifying last year, but
I never know.
you know, he kind of fell off his car. So we
Um,
never got to truly learn his speed there.
and then I this whole interview podcast, whatever you want to call it. I had a thing. I was like, I'm going to say this for the last question, and now that we're actually at the last question, I completely forgot it. So that's
Favorite
all.
movie of all time? Go.
Favorite movie of all time.
Gosh. Dude, I don't know. Me and my wife, we probably watch it once a month now. It may be Top Gun Maverick for me.
Oh,
We
that
had
was
an
a cool
entire.
theater experience.
I
We
saw
had
it
an
like 4.
entire
I hate
intramural
movie
softball
theaters.
team
I
named
hate
after.
like yeah, we are top runs. I hate movie theaters. Like I'm not a movie guy at all. I saw it 4 times in the theater.
Oh my goodness!
It was
Well,
so
okay, you redeemed yourself there by saying you went and saw a single movie 4 times in the theater.
it was so good. And we've watched it like 5 times since. I've seen it probably yeah, it's so good. So,
Um,
that's probably
Awesome.
mine as of right now.
That was an epic movie in theaters.
Oh yeah.
I loved that movie so much. Um, oh, I know what my last question was. Because thank you for the movie, because it actually is about it was about movies and NASCAR. I would say my favorite movie of all time, just to turn on and watch and feel good, would either be it's ironically 2 Disney sports movies, Remember the Titans or Miracle. I love both of those movies so much. It's just like feel good and
I'll give a shout to Cars 2. And I'm not
Turbo.
joking. Turbo's up there. Cars 2. Cars 2 is elite.
Is that the one where he Mater's a spy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one was a little whack, but
It was the best one.
Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. That's my favorite.
I was gonna say my like cinema like pretentious pick would probably be Whiplash, but
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
probably the best movie I've watched for the first time in the last year though would be Ford v Ferrari. I can't believe it took me that
Oh
long
man,
to
that
watch
was
that movie.
Oh, that movie was so
so
good,
good.
even though you kind of knew it was going to happen the whole time.
yeah.
You just
And
like Google it.
Daytona being at Fontana.
Yeah, that
Fontana.
does take you out of the movie, but one. So there's 2 last questions. So Nikolai, you have to give your review of Project Hail Mary since we already
Okay.
threw Carson Hocevar into the sun, and he joins an infamous Braves catcher who will not be named in the sun.
What's his name? I don't actually know his name.
I made a little bit of a comment about a catcher that I hated. What was his? Manny Pena.
Manny Pena
There's
is
a
still in
text
the
out there for
sun
me that says
since
we can go ahead and
2022,
blast Manny Pena right into the sun,
and
and then
there's still
we had DFA'd him like a month later.
but there is still a petition on change.org to launch Manny Pena into the sun that I created personally. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but oh my goodness, he sucked as a catcher for Atlanta.
I wish he would go 90 million miles straight towards a ball of fire for nothing else other than his play on the field.
Why
Um,
wouldn't you just trade him to your biggest rival? Wouldn't that be a worse outcome for them and a
no,
better
because
outcome for you?
people in
No,
the
because he'd
NL East
rake.
somehow get better as soon as
Oh,
they have
well,
hate in their system.
that's fair. It's a fair assessment.
Um, but your Project Hail Mary review. You could be as serious or silly about it as you want to be.
Okay. I will say, here in Dallas, we have one of the 13 in the country theaters that had IMAX 70 millimeter. Dude, holy crap. Like the visuals in that movie on the IMAX with the 70 millimeter aspect ratio or whatever it was, where it's like a big, giant kind of square thing. There were some scenes in there where the visuals were genuinely mind blowing to the point that like I got chills so intensely that it's like I couldn't move. Like it was like, holy crap, like this is epic. So from that aspect, it was awesome. The story itself was pretty good. I love, dude, there's a character in there, Rocky.
Yes.
I love Rocky. Rocky is my hero. I want to be like Rocky when I grow up. Okay.
Did he go, yo,
Um,
Adrian, that's the sun? That's a
yeah,
terrible Rocky
like,
impression,
dude.
my goodness.
But no, for real, it was a really, really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But the visuals in that movie were insane. Like I love that, and like reading up about all the trivia after, it's like not even green screen. Like they built all these sets so intently. With they deserve to be blowing up the box office for this. They are killing it. So IMAX 70 millimeter. If you have the chance, if you got one near you, it's a little pricier, yes, but epic, epic cinema experience.
Okay. I like I said, that I am going to watch that movie. If not this weekend, next week. Um, so I have got to get to the theater for it. And then the
Love a good
last
theater
question, the one I had
experience.
actually planned on asking you, is so we keep hearing the rumors about Days of Thunder 2. Days of Thunder kind of predates all of our times. I mean, that was the original like racing movie. Tom Cruise. If they do Top Gun Maverick, like how all the rumors have been, they're gonna kind of do the same, somewhat same storyline. He's gonna coach a younger driver, and then we did the Brad Pitt F1. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Um, but if you were a new team owner in NASCAR and you had to pick one actor, and we'll go all time in their prime, to run or to be your driver in the NASCAR Cup Series, who are you picking?
Okay. Firstly, to the people of Days of Thunder 2, if you are watching this and you need extra hands on set, or if you need a terrible actor, I will gladly be in your movie
Hire
or
this man.
on the sidelines of this movie. Whatever you need, I got you. Secondly, I think Paul Newman had a racing background, so I'll go Paul Newman.
Okay. I do you have one in mind, Grant? Because I do.
Go ahead. I have a problem where I don't know actors.
Yeah, Grant
Like
is
I
not a
don't.
You
cinephile
tell me
at
what
all.
movie they're in, and I'll do my best to guesstimate.
Okay.
I got IMDb pulled up.
Okay. Let me just. I got to brainstorm here for a second. Caden, you go ahead.
I am going with probably my personal favorite actor of all time. Not saying he's the best, but probably definitely in my top five. I'm going Kurt Russell. Um,
Pretty cool.
as we learned at the Daytona 500 this year, has a background racing midgets up in the Pacific Northwest. And if you don't know anything about short track racing, Grant, that sounds really wrong. But I think for one, that plus it's also Kurt Russell, so he's there. You go. He's awesome, and I like him. And he used to race a little bit. He also, I mean, his whole family loves sports, and I like Kurt Russell.
All right.
Actually, Let's get Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell. Let Days of Thunder 2. There you go. Already has a family racing connection.
Here's
That
what
works.
we're gonna do for me. Since I don't know these people or actors,
I'll let you
whatever,
go with characters too.
what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go on this thing and I'm gonna see out of all these pictures of people who I think would make the best race car driver.
Oh God.
You know, like they've got to be like younger, I guess.
Well, we said all time. Like
Oh, all
everyone was
time.
young once.
Yeah, Paul Newman's he's
I
dead.
guess I do like I don't maybe it doesn't fit. I guess my favorite actor is Ben Affleck, so I'll give a shout to him.
What
I
a
don't know.
surprise! Ben Affleck mentioned in the big 2026.
I watched what was the one I saw with him the other day again? I didn't watch it, but
The
he was
Town?
in it. No, I actually watched that with me and my wife watched that like 6 months ago. It was pretty good.
That's a good
The
movie.
Accountant.
No, we were scrolling on like Netflix or something, and I saw the Triple Frontier again, where they go into like. Have you seen that? They're like former like Navy. They're like former like
I think
special
I
ops
have.
guys. They're former special ops guys, and they like go raid like a
Oh
like
yeah, I
a
have seen that. Yeah,
like
it was
a
solid.
cartel leaders. I don't know. I saw that one the other day, and I was like, I like Ben Affleck.
Yeah, it's
Wasn't
Ben
he in that new
Affleck,
movie, The
Costa.
Rip?
Yeah,
I hadn't seen that yet, but I heard it was pretty decent. I don't know.
yeah, that just came out.
I just was scrolling, and his name popped up, and I was like, oh, I kind of like that guy.
Um,
Either him or Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, Samuel L.
Could
Jackson.
you
would be so
imagine?
That
cool.
would be hilarious.
I would pay
Yep.
so much just to put on the scanner and listen.
You'd get bleeped so much on TV.
Give me Vin Diesel. He's just driving. He's like, I got family.
Mumble girl family.
That's it. That's all I need right there. That's perfect. That's my pick. Vin Diesel, but his only line is "I got family." That's all he can say the whole movie.
Well, this is
Ben,
real
how's the
life.
car
Hey,
handling?
are you loose or are you tight? Family.
Family. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. It's like, well, we got to go 2.66 this lap, buddy. So strap in. I don't know what to tell you.
We have a long journey.
Yeah,
that'd be
I live my
great.
life a quarter mile at a time. It's like, well, if you can do 1,000 of those every week, then you'll be doing just fine, buddy. So that's the extent of my actor knowledge. I know like Matt Damon from what's the one, the Bourne movies.
Jason Bourne, that's Jesus Christ.
Dude, I haven't seen a Bourne. I haven't seen a new movie in a long time.
No, that'd
Y'all like
that'd
movies, so you're probably like, what is wrong with you?
That'd be a great segment though, like just basing which actor would be the best race car drivers, just based on what you've
Just
seen.
pure stereotyping people.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the guy that voices Finn McMissile? Because that
Oh,
guy.
I think that's Michael Caine.
It is Michael
Is it?
Caine. Yes.
Yeah.
No, Michael Caine's Twitter is legendary.
He's
Batman
awesome.
Begins.
Technically, I could have just said Jeff Gordon and Lewis Hamilton because cars.
Hey,
but
Jeff Corvette.
Jeff
Yeah.
Corvette.
From your favorite movie, Cars, too.
Yeah, he's great. They really got creative with Lewis Hamilton's name in that movie.
They did.
No, I can't think of any kind of plays on this guy's name. We'll just call him Lewis. All right.
Have you guys seen the F1 Twitter? I'm getting off topic here again. Mind blowing, I know, but have you seen like the F1 Twitter slander names for the drivers?
No.
Oh,
Gosh.
yes.
Oh
Oh,
my
it's
God.
so good.
So Lewis Hamilton got disqualified because the wood plank under his car like was too short or something. So someone called him LeWood Plankmilton. And then like when Red Bull broke the cost cap, instead of Verstappen, they called him Cost Capin.
Dude, people are so creative. My
We-
brain doesn't work like that.
We had an
So
entire media ethics class, you and I, Nikolai, where we just every single day we came up with new slander names for LeBron James. Not that either of us particularly like really dislike him all that much, but it became the running bit.
Dude, that class was insane. We got off. Speaking of getting off topic, we got off topic in that class a lot.
Oh yeah, we did.
Hmm.
Anyways, thank you for coming on, Nikolai. It was a lot of fun. And we do get one more break this year, don't we? Or no? I can't remember.
We have two because last year there was like 30 straight weeks without a break, and everyone was complaining. fair, to be honest.
Yeah.
The next break is
It's like right when NBC takes over.
it's
Um,
in it's the yeah, so it's that first weekend in August.
Okay.
So
So maybe another collaboration, home and home then.
yeah,
So we'll see.
that'd be cool.
But had a lot of fun talking NASCAR with someone I don't actually get to physically talk to very as much as I would like. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
NASCAR fun. Project Hail Mary. Also fun. If you've seen the movie,
I have not
get
seen the
the
reference yet,
reference.
but I know it's a reference. So
Yes. But
also
no, I had a
watching
good
Invincible
time.
at peak.
We talked about a lot of random stuff, which was epic. So nice meeting you too, Grant.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I know we
Even
went
though
to
you
the
shared
same,
a
not that
campus
big
for
school, but you don't
4
know
years.
everybody.
Yeah.
So, but thank y'all for coming on, and yeah, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Nikolai's channel. You got anything coming out that's new, unique this weekend or next week?
No. I wish I did, but no. Nothing exciting to hype up, unfortunately.
Well, I've got a lot of Atlanta Braves content coming out in addition to the NASCAR. So if you like the Atlanta Braves, please subscribe to me.
Well, I
But
hope they have a decent season unless they're playing the Rangers. Then I hope they lose. No offense.
say, they're
Fair enough.
coming. Yeah, Rangers coming to Atlanta this year, so should be fun. So okay, that's the 17th end of this podcast. So we'll call it there. See, that was the Triovalosis, the Nikolai Culp show, and I can't speak. Peace out.